Okay, in this video we're just going to look at how long you can record for on Lumix cameras, and specifically in this video we're using the Panasonic GH6. So it's a really good camera for kind of long form recording, and we're just going to have a look at how long it can record for with internal official battery and standard kind of V-mount battery. For this size of camera, this is a sort of relatively standard V-mount size, so we'll kind of take a look at both of those and how long they could kind of record for. This is a question I get asked a lot, and I've sort of typically avoided it and put it off a little bit because there's so many different variations to this. You could be using official batteries, third-party batteries, all V-mounts are slightly different. People are using different settings in the camera, they could be using internal cards, SSD. If you're using a V-mount, you could be connecting other accessories. So, don't take this as gospel. It's just kind of, controlled tests that I've done just to give you an idea of how long a battery life you'll get. So to do the test, I shot the video at 5.7K at 60 frames a second, and that was in the MOV or MOV format on the camera. And I'd say really the conditions for it were pretty ideal because I'm in the UK, the temperature right now is pretty mild, it's sort of around 20 degrees Celsius, that's around 68 Fahrenheit, so the fans on the camera really never had to kind of kick in because I'm not really in a hot enough scenario. And like I say, it's very much a controlled test, so I'm not digging into the menus while the camera's running, I'm not using Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, playing things back on the camera. I'm not really, digging into the menus at all, and I'm not even using AF on this. I've just got it set to manual focus. So, like I say, this is a kind of ideal time. You're not likely to get exactly this out when you're recording in the field. So, with the internal stock battery, this is the BLK22. I've managed to get 1 hour and 10 minutes of recording time out of the camera, and that was out to an SSD drive. I'm using the Samsung T7 Shield, and so 1 hour 10, that was the battery from absolutely full to depleted, and the camera had switched itself off and saved the file. And then with the V mount, I decided to I used this one because the small rig is a nice option, but it's a bit more of a premium one. They're technically the same. They're technically the same size battery. They're both 99 watt hour batteries, and I just decided, I'll just use that one. They should technically be around the same, but I just thought I'd go for the budget one and you get a good idea. And with that, plugged into the I'm using the Condor Blue cable. I'll link to all of these bits, so you can link up in a corner to find all of these things. But yeah, I'm using the Condor Blue dummy cable to the WeMax at 99 using DTAP, and that's given me 6.5 hours of recording on the GH6. Again, out to SSD using the Samsung T7 Shield. I'm using the 1TB version. And that's 6.5 hours straight continuous, and that's again recording out to 5.7K at 60 frames a second. And obviously that is a much longer time than the internal battery is going to give you, but there are pros and cons to each. If you're running it for that long, you don't have the battery in the camera, so that's not heating up as much. You haven't got the CF Express card going because I've got it's all being recorded out to SSD, so you've not got the heat of the something like the CF Express card being generated within the camera either. So from that point of view, it's quite good. But there are a couple of things to be aware of with a V-mount battery. I'll link up in the corner actually about some of those bits. And like I say, the temperature was, I would say, pretty ideal temperature for the camera. The fans, the camera got warm. The fans weren't audible really at any point during it. The SSD got a little bit warm, but it handled perfectly well. It didn't stop at any point. So for me, as you can see on the table, I've got these two 99 watt hour batteries. So for me, this gets me through a day of shooting. Like I say, 6.5 hours is not really realistic if you've got a monitor plugged in or you're charging other devices from these. So yeah, for me, two 99 watt hour batteries for a very long day shoot for me work absolutely fine. But you can get bigger V-mount batteries that are still relatively suitable for the camera. For me, they're a little on the heavy side, but you could get a 155 watt hour battery, or some of them now even go up to I think 400 or 500 watt hours. But obviously, just consider the higher the battery capacity, the bigger the battery is, and the heavier it is as well. So when you've got a camera that's a micro four thirds camera, you probably don't want to be going crazy having one that big, unless this is just maybe mounted to a tripod and you can just hook the battery up to be sort of sat on a tripod leg or something like that. But it's yeah, you're probably not going to want to carry a battery that heavy around particularly, and it's quite likely you're going to have some kind of break in that time. So unless you are recording like 8 hours straight. And really, I would say in that instance, probably the more practical option is to use the AC10. If you've got access to power, then you can use the AC10 adapter. I'll link up in a corner about a video about that, and that's a great way to almost have what you would call sort of unlimited recording. That'll go as long as the your SSD drive can keep recording to it, as long as it's got space, as long as the camera's not overheating or having issues. It's just going to sort of go on indefinitely. So yeah, it's just a bit of a, like I say, not a perfect test, but people have kept asking me, so I sort of put that together. That's what it does. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and hopefully this has been helpful. If it has, give the video a like. If you want to see more videos about the Panasonic GH6 or Lumix cameras, check out the playlist on this channel, and please subscribe.